And it was like, oh my gosh, this is what we've been looking for. This is the modern way to handle this. Our lead facility manager can't say enough good about this tool and how it makes him more efficient and able to do more, right, with less. Oh, wow. I'll focus really heavily on the Catholic Chancery, the bishop's office, the administration office, and the feedback that over the years I've heard from our amazing maintenance men who do a phenomenal job and have multiple properties to work to improve, to keep running, etc. Their responsibilities are immense. And I remember them saying some of the biggest struggles were nobody told me that was a problem. Nobody said anything. They've known about it for months and just some frustration around not knowing. And staff members who knew about it or whatever were saying there wasn't a good way to get it to you necessarily because you guys are traveling from property to property, campus to campus, etc. I think the other piece too became the inventory and asset. It was a mental thing to keep track of, hey, what's the warranty on this? When's the next time does it need service? What part? And just the time that it took to maybe go to that campus and find that piece of equipment and then look at the part versus having it at their fingertips, no matter where they were at which campus or which location. And when I talk about the Catholic Diocese in our administration office, we have 114 other locations that facility managers there express the same thing. Hey, I'm a facility manager, but I take care of 9 campuses in 9 different locations. Just a little background, South Dakota it can take 7 hours to drive from one end of the diocese to the other. We
Mhm.
are a very large rural diocese, and there are facility managers that have to keep track of, like I said, 8 campuses, and it might take them a 2 hour round trip to get to campus, etc. So not having to drive to a location to grab a part number or know the information that they need to continue the upkeep on the facilities is huge. Oh, made us feel frustrated. What can we do? How do we do this? How should we approach it? And there were some half-hearted measures before. Okay, here's a spreadsheet. Maybe it's a sheet that was available on OneDrive or Google Drive or something like that. But just not having some of the features that eSpace gives us, like notifications or reminders and things like that. It just wasn't as easy, not as user friendly to have those kinds of things. So there was just I would say literally I'm doing the best I can, giving each other a lot of grace, and then obviously frustration on the part of there's got to be a better way. Our journey into eSpace was when we switched our diocesan and parish management platform over to ministry platform. You guys have a beautiful partnership with ministry platform and an integration between eSpace and some of the other modules, but that is what introduced me to eSpace. And then a light bulb went off when I heard you guys talk about what things that you can do. And it was like, oh my gosh, this is what we've been looking for all these years. This is the modern way to handle this, to have facility managers who can actually manage the introduction to that and then seeing. And then we had it was probably 2 years ago, maybe even three, where we had a gathering of our facility managers and we showed them, hey, what do you think about this?
Mm.
What do you think about your calendaring and your event management, your workspace and asset work order, asset management piece, and then even some of the HVAC and automations there? And their eyes all just lit up and they were a resounding yes. They were like, absolutely, we want to know more. And so that was really exciting that these men saw the beauty of the platform as well too. And actually we've had a really cool evolution too of there's been one facility manager that just fully embraced it and just took off and started implementing it, tracking things, and he became the expert then of actually using the software, how they use it. He's got other staff that he works with that he can assign different tasks to and stuff. And he was just his full-throated approval and let me show you what I've done, willingness to share with the other facility managers has then just perpetuated adoption and embracing the tool. One thing that and it's not necessarily time savings. I think one of the things that we in the Catholic space, and I'm sure this is applicable across any institutions, organizations, is when you have a wonderful and amazing facility manager who is now looking to, hey, heads up, which our facility manager did, in 2 years, I'd like to retire. There is so much institutional knowledge in that employee who has, for ours, he's been with us for 20 years and longer. And he has so much institutional knowledge. And we've hired a young man who is like training from him. He's following him. He's learning so much. But his thing is, there's so much in that man's head. There's no way I'm ever going to be able to capture that institutional knowledge. And I want to do a good job. So that is when we at the bishop's office said, we've got to. The eSpace will be a beautiful way to capture the institutional knowledge, the situational things over the next 2 years while we prepare for letting this wonderful man who's devoted so much time and effort to keeping our facilities running, let him receive the gift of his retirement and know that things will be well taken care of.
Mhm.
That is a beautiful gift, and I can't wait for we're just starting down that road for our offices. Many of our parishes and parish groupings are already moving and working in eSpace. We are doing that specifically for capturing the institutional knowledge and being able to have that new employee say, here is my Bible, here is my resource for how I can do a good job and take care of these facilities and not drop a ball that I when I'm juggling multiple campuses. That is such a gift. Oh man, I would just say if you don't have anybody who is a user, a facility manager, like feel free to contact our diocese. I'll put you in touch with the guy who works in it day to day. The mobility factor, I would just say listen to your peers and hear their feedback on the tool. And I think once you hear that person who's going to be experiencing the same frustrations and challenges and things that you need to do on a day-to-day basis, our lead facility manager can't say enough good about this tool and what it can do and how it makes him more efficient and able to do more, right, with less. And unfortunately, especially nonprofits, we all are asked to do more with less.